Aren't you all glad that you came here for a Q&A? And I'm just like untangling knots. Isn't this fun? Isn't this really, really fun? Hi friends, welcome or welcome back. We are here today with a Q&A because we have passed 500 subscribers, and thank you all so much. I am so excited to be here. I feel like it was not that long ago that I was filming a 100 subscriber Q&A, and even back then I was like, what are you doing, MC? Like, there are only 100 people here. No one needs a Q&A. But I got a bunch of questions and it was a lot of fun. So we are back with more for 500 subscribers, and I'm super excited, and I have some fun things planned for today. Before we get into it, I do want to say that it is construction season here in the neighborhood. It's literally every day. Every single day, a different house has something going on. I swear, like 10 houses in the neighborhood have gotten new roofs in the past couple of weeks. Like, everyone's getting tree work done, people are getting new patios. It's just like every single day. So there is a house getting some trees taken down the street, and you might occasionally be able to hear it. If I tried to wait until there was no noise, we would never film anything. And also, it's warm in this room, so I have to have the windows open. So I am sorry, but let's move on. Now, the first question that I got that I want to answer right away is, how many whips are too many whips? Does the limit exist? And I know that one of my friends was sending this to me to be silly, but it is quite funny that you mention that, because what I have planned for today's video while I'm answering the questions is a frogging party. So I have some projects that have been lingering and that I am feeling overwhelmed by and tired of looking at and dealing with, and I'm here to frog. I want less whips. Now, to actually answer this question, I say there is no limit. No amount of whips are too many whips, because you should do what makes you happy. And if that is one whip, then that is fine. And if it is 20, then that is also fine. But for me, normally I have multiple things going on, and lately something has just been happening to me where I only want to work on one thing at a time. So there are a couple of lingering projects that I want to say goodbye to, and we'll talk about them as I go through and answer some questions. Okay, the first thing that I have to frog is this design that is actually almost done. It basically needs straps, but I don't like it. I don't want to do it. Do I like it? Shoot. Do I want to keep going with this? Oh, dagnabbit. Do I like this? Shoot. Hang on. Just bear with me for a second. Do I like this or do I hate it? Okay, never mind. That's hilarious. This is hilarious. Okay, I literally just have straps to add to this, and I think I'm gonna finish it. I think I'm gonna try and finish it, because I know what I need to do now. I got stuck with this. This is hilarious. This is just too funny. Okay, I got stuck with this project. It looks horrendous right now, because it has literally been stuffed in a bag for almost a year, into a tiny little sock bag. And I decided I wanted to do something different with the straps, and then no, it's too wide. How long am I gonna stay here doing this? These straps are too wide set. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay, I just had a debate with myself over this, and we're gonna do it. I'm gonna frog it. I'm going to frog it. This design was something that I started about a year ago, and I like it. I like the idea still. It looks horrendous because it's been shoved in a bag, but I still like the idea, but I know some things that I want to do differently, and I think that they are discontinuing this yarn or something. So I'm gonna do something different. The end. Okay, we're gonna frog it. We're gonna frog it. We're just gonna do it. And I want to get these bags back. I want to get my needles back. What is this attached to? I can't even figure out what this is attached to. Okay, this is hilarious. What is happening? Where is this? Where does this go? This is gonna be the longest video ever of me just like trying to figure out where my ends are. Okay, this goes here. Aren't you all glad that you came here for Q&A? And I'm just like untangling knots. Isn't this fun? Isn't this really, really fun? Aha, okay, I think I found it. This is gonna be really fun for me to edit, let me tell you. Never the chainsaws. Great. Okay, can we make sure that I don't do things like this in the future? Can someone just like be responsible for me and not let me do stuff like this? That would be appreciated. Thank you. Haha, okay. There we go. It's off the needles. It's coming off the needles. Now, let's actually talk about, oh my gosh, let's put the needles in a safe space and let's talk about what we came here for. So, what is our first question? So, again, like I said, I think that whatever number of whips makes you happy is a good number of whips to have. And lately, I have just been feeling really overwhelmed, and I don't know, been like a little bit lost in my making, and it has been feeling really good to focus on only one thing at a time. Here we go. I had just attached this third ball of yarn. Did I say that I was making this with Lion Brand Touch of Linen in the colorway Dijon, which I do love. It's just time. Okay, so we are going to take this, and I'm not going to use my ball winder to wind this up. One, because my ball winder makes a lot of noise. I'm in the market for a new one. It is on, I have this list of like things to buy when I have money, and it is on that list. So, not that I don't have money, it's just like, you know, more a list of things that I don't really need but would be nice to have, and when a little bit of extra cash flow comes in, it's on my list. So anyway, okay, we answered the whip question. My next question is favorite flower and why? And this is a little bit of a complicated answer because I hate flowers. I do not like flowers pretty much at all. I am very, very sensitive to scents, and so a lot of flowers, pretty much all flowers, why is this in a knot? Pretty much all flowers make me sneeze and make me really itchy. So I tend to avoid flowers at all costs. Like we basically never have flowers in the house. We have in our gardens outside, we made sure that we got flowers that were pretty low on fragrance. Like we wanted to look for things that were, that would bring pollinators to the yard because we like having vegetables in our raised beds, but we didn't want things that would be too fragrant because I like to sit outside and I didn't want to be miserable the whole time. So if I had to pick a real live flower that was my favorite, I would probably say daisies, just because they're so happy and pretty and cute and simple. They're not ostentatious, they're just happy little daisies. But if I were to pick some flowers that are my favorite, I would say I have some flowers that my husband made for me, and he made them out of books, or pages of books, and he made them for me pretty early on in our dating. He came to see me at a dance competition way back when I was still competing professionally, and he brought them for me, and I still have them, and I still love them, and they're probably rude. They are my favorite flowers because they have a lot of meaning to them, and they will always be there. They will never die, and I will never have to worry about preserving them or anything like that. Okay, next up we have how did you learn to dye yarn? I can't figure out where to start. Well, okay, so I guess the answer to this question is twofold. One, the first part of it is that I am incredibly impulsive. If I decide I want to do something, I just go and I do it. So I learned my first step of dyeing yarn was one day I was home alone and I was bored, and I thought, you know, it would be fun if I dyed some yarn. And so I took a skein of yarn that I had that was like a light gray color, and I had decided I didn't really love it. I didn't want to use it for anything, and so I threw it into a crock pot with some tea. And that's what I did. I didn't look up anything ahead of time. I just put it in hot water in the crock pot. I like steeped the tea first. So I put water in the crock pot, turned it on so it would heat up, threw some tea bags in so that they would steep. And then when the water looked like it was a color that I kind of liked, I put the yarn in, and then I let it sit there for, I don't know, like an hour maybe, and then I let the water cool down. I let it cool down naturally just because I had kind of heard that it was good to do, and that's it. And then I was like, well, that was fun, let me do it again. So I I had more skeins of that yarn, and I just did it again, and the result was a little bit different because I used a different brand of tea. And so I was like, okay, well, this has been fun. I don't know what I'm doing, but I enjoyed it, and it was fun to see the results. So this is where the second part of my personality kicked in after the impulsivity, and that is that I can research the absolute crap out of anything. So if there's something I am interested in, I will research it until the cows come home, until there's barely any information out there on the internet that I don't know about for this thing. I Google everything. And that's what I did. I just Googled yarn dyeing, natural yarn dyeing with tea, like dyeing fiber, dyeing fabric. I went to my library and looked for any books that they had there. They don't have any physical books, but they had some digital books in their catalog that I looked through. I went to YouTube and I typed in all the same search criteria: how to dye yarn, yarn dyeing basics, yarn dyeing for beginners, beginner yarn dyeing. Literally, like anything you can think of, any phrase you can think of, I just typed it in and I saw what the results were. And then I just started absorbing knowledge, started writing some things down. Also, again, you know, here and there, the impulsivity would take back over and I would just throw things in a pot and see what happened. You know, I had the ability of having some yarn, some bare yarn, and some already dyed yarn in like light colors that I didn't mind over dyeing. So I had some stuff to play with, and I didn't mind necessarily like what happened. I knew it wasn't going to be, as long as I didn't like burn the yarn, it wasn't going to be the end of the world. And even if I came up with a color that I didn't love, I could still find something to do with it. I could make something and give that thing away, or I could give the yarn to someone who would love it or something, you know? So yeah, so I just kind of like approached it with reckless abandon, to be honest, but also while researching at the same time. I would highly recommend, if you are interested in learning, the best place to go on YouTube would be to check out ChemKnits. They have amazing videos, a million videos, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos on yarn dyeing, fiber dyeing, and literally anything you could think of relating to yarn dyeing. They do have some videos also really getting into the nitty-gritty, explaining the science and the math behind things. That can seem a little overwhelming at first, but they do a really good job of explaining it. And I would say also that there are some dyers out there that don't dye by math and numbers and stuff like that. And so you don't have to understand. I mean, it's a good idea to understand it, but you don't have to follow the science behind everything. You can just do what feels good, and you might come up with something really cool. So basically, that is how I learned. I learned by just trying and seeing what happened. Oh, also, I definitely recommend Arcane Fiberworks has a YouTube channel, and while they don't really ever talk about the numbers of what they do in their dyeing, like they don't give out any dye recipes or anything, which is fine. You can just kind of observe what they're doing. You can see their dye style. I personally also really liked to do that, to just watch other people dyeing and see what their styles are, because people approach it differently and you can learn from others, but ultimately you have to find your own style that you want to do. So yeah, I would definitely recommend those two channels, and then also just Google the heck out of it. And yeah, I would say if you're wanting to start, I would say to start with either like natural dyeing, or grab a bottle of RIT dye for $5 from a craft store. You know, you don't need to invest in acid dyes and all the protective stuff that you need for that. If you just want to try it, there is some really cool stuff you can do with natural dyes that you might have around your house. But even so, even if you're using natural stuff, just still make sure you're taking all the right precautions and not using things for food if they have touched something that, you know, that shouldn't be food safe. So anyway, yeah, I hope that helped. I'm happy to talk about it more. I definitely still feel like I am always learning. I think that is the best way to approach any craft or task or anything, you know, like even if you feel really competent and confident in it, there is still definitely always something that you can learn. So yeah, that was fun. Talked about that for a little bit longer than I anticipated. And also, this frogging is taking way longer than I anticipated. Am I going to just frog one thing while I get through this video? Or am I, like, that would be boring if you just watched me frog one item. Well, we'll see. Also, there are little linen fibers flying all over the place now, and they're going up my nose and tickling my face. Anyway, okay, what is our next question? Okay, I'm gonna have to like pause my frogging and hold things up for this one. Favorite thing I ever knit. Now, I couldn't pick just one answer for this because I couldn't. You know, there are so many things that that I love that I've made. And so what I decided to do was I picked my favorite knit and crochet, and then my favorite knit and crochet that I have designed, because I felt weird. Like, I felt like if I picked my designs as the answers, then I felt like that was pretentious. But then if I picked not my designs, then I felt like I was neglecting my designs. So, one ball done. I'm gonna wait for this motorcycle to go by and then talk about my favorite things I've made. Okay, the first thing that I want to show that is my favorite knit is my basic knit bralette by Sara Knits Co. And I made this in Lion Brand Vanda's Choice in the colorway Lemon Pepper. And this has like a lot of special meaning to me, even though it seems like a very simple bralette. It was one of, if not no, it wasn't the first garment I made, but it was one of the first garments that I made for myself. And it fits me so well. It fits me potentially the best out of anything that I've ever made. And that's incredibly disappointing. Sorry, I'm just getting these cords out of the way. That's incredibly disappointing because I made it at a time when I did not understand gauge. I did not understand how to gauge swatch. So I just kind of like made things work. I knew I didn't get the gauge, and so so I made it on a US 9. At least I did write that down, which is great. But I don't think I can ever like exactly recreate what I did. I know I did add some length, but I didn't take any notes on it. So it's disappointing because it fits me so well, and I literally wear this all of the time, constantly. I wear this bralette. But I feel like it was this magical moment that I can never recreate because I don't remember anything I did. And I was a much different knitter back then. My gauge was super tight. So I feel like I will never ever be able to recreate it. But I feel like this was the first thing that I made, that I knit for my body, that like really made me feel like I learned a lot about how things fit me and how I like things to fit me and that kind of stuff. So I really feel like, although it is a very simple stockinette bralette, I feel like it taught me a lot. And I have very fond memories of making it. My favorite crochet make is my Captiva crop by Murphy Made Crochet. And I have said things like this so many times on this channel that this is one of my favorite makes ever. This I made in the colorway West Coast, which was created by Sorella Yarn for a collaboration with Tony of TL Yarn Crafts. And whoa! My yarn just went flying. And I also feel like a very fond memories of this, making this crop top, because I bought the yarn specifically with this top in mind. I really wanted to make it, and I wasn't, back then when I purchased it, I wasn't someone that often purchased yarn with a project in mind. I would just buy stuff that was pretty and then figure it out when I felt like making something. So I bought this yarn with this project in mind, and I, at that point, had never crocheted with fingering weight yarn. and I was really intimidated by it. I still do get a lot of pain when I crochet, and I was just positive that the fingering weight was going to be like a Herculean effort for me to make this, and I really wanted to try it, but I was so afraid. So I put it off and I put it off and I put it off, and then I finally decided to make the Captiva crop, and I had such a good time making this. I feel like it really really changed the way that I thought about crochet. It taught me so much. I just feel like I gained so much crochet confidence while I was making this, and I absolutely love the finished result, and I feel like I have such good feelings about the whole thing, about the process, about the way I feel when I'm wearing it. It was just wonderful. I absolutely loved every single second of stitching up that crop, and yeah, there's a part of me that wants to make one again, but I also know that it really was a Herculean effort to make this, and I don't know if I have it in me to make another one, but I do love it. I absolutely adore this this crop, and I highly recommend the pattern. My favorite knit design that I have done is the Allison cardigan, and this is something that I literally wear all the time. All fall and winter long I wear this. I made this cardigan based on the cardigan that the character of Allison wears throughout the entirety of, well, just about the entirety of the movie Hocus Pocus. And I made it with Lion Brand Vanna's Choice, and I love it. I love it so much. It's so comfy, cozy. It fits me so well. It was an idea that I had sitting in my brain for so long, and I don't know, I was being like really weird and silly about it, and like had to wait for the perfect release time, and so I released it in time for Hocus Pocus season, and when it was the anniversary of the movie. So yeah, I just love it. I wear it all the time. It's so cozy, so warm. I do want to make another one. I think I will probably make another one out of like a wool yarn. You know, Vanna's Choice is acrylic, so I think I will make one out of a wool yarn, and it will be nice and squishy and have really good drape. And I'm so sorry about the chainsaws. And my favorite crochet design is my Cherries on top crop. I love this, and I literally wear it all the time. In the summer, I wear it like at least once a week, sometimes more. Are these chainsaws moving even closer? Are they like moving down the street to cut down trees? I'm sorry. Anyway, I made my Cherries on top crop out of Yarnable Hypnotic Yarns Yarnable box yarn, and I love it. I love it so much. This was really a labor of love to make this design. I made it 3 times because I had something different in my head. I made it 3 times all with the same yarn. And then I made another version with some other yarn. So I guess technically I've made it 4 times. But this one that I just held up, I remade 3 times. And I just couldn't get it exactly the way I wanted to. And I finally did, and I'm so happy with it. I love it. It fits me so well, and it is a completely made-to-measure pattern. I had amazing testers that made so many different really cool, really creative versions. They were so inspiring. It was just amazing. It was an amazing process, and I love it. I love it so much. This is one of my most popular patterns, if not the most popular pattern. This one tends to be like anytime I do a coupon code for or a free pattern, this one is like people always go for the cherries on top crop and grab it for free, which is fine with me. I would love to see your versions. I would love to see you making it. I'm so glad that you love it as well. And I decided to make a whole collection related to the cherries on top crop. So just a few days ago, as I'm filming this, the Juniper Berry Jumper was released, which is once again made to measure. And you should go check out my Instagram and see all of my amazing testers for that. And I have another one in the family that I am hoping to get out. I'm hoping will be released in the like late summer, early fall, which I already have swatched and designed and everything. I just need to actually make the sample and then get it in testing. So I just love it. I love my cherries on top crop. I could keep talking about it forever, but we've been here for a while, so I will stop. Okay, the last question that I got, I didn't get very many questions this time, but that's okay. The last question I got was a little joke from my husband, and he said, how long until you ask how many fleeces is too many fleeces again? And that is a reference to when we were on vacation recently, and I asked him to tell me how many sheep fleeces were too many, like how many before he would start judging me for the number of sheep fleeces? Fleece? Is fleece plural? I don't know. The number of them that I bought. Anyway, he doesn't watch my videos, but to answer his question, I'm hoping it's going to be a while before I am wondering how many sheep are too many sheep. Because I got a couple more. If you have been watching the podcast, you know that I got a part of a fleece and have been processing that, and I have been filming a video on the process of me processing it. But I have since acquired a few more fleeces. And so, oops. But I'm having so much fun with it. I'm loving every single second of the process. So yeah, that was just a silly little question from my husband, but I figured I would take the opportunity to let you know what the status is of the fleece situation in our home. It is currently still on one hand, but more than the one that I showed on the podcast. Okay, well, that is all I got for questions. Not many this time, but that's okay. It's fine. You guys don't want to get to know me, whatever. It's all good. Just kidding. No, it's fine. I was not expecting to get many questions, but I figured I have been wanting to sit down and frog some stuff, so I thought this would be a good time to do so with all of you. So, it's kind of funny. Shoot, just dropped my stitch marker. It's kind of funny that this whole time I have only been frogging one project, and I am not even done yet. Let's see if I can get this done by the time I finish talking, but I'm gonna have to pause and hold some more stuff up for you. So let me show you what I wanted to frog while we were here. First things first, we have obviously this design that I have been working on for almost a year and has been in hibernation. Next, this is going to potentially shock some of you. I have my Marty Party crop, which is not done, obviously. I still love this design and still have big dreams and hopes for this design. This is in the colorway Dirty Mardi Gras by Whimsy Stitches, and I love it. I love it so, so much, but I have decided that I want to attack the construction differently. And like I was mentioning, that my cherries on top crop taught me a lot. It taught me to frog. It taught me that it's okay to frog designs. Sometimes things don't go the way that you're wanting them to, and you have to be okay with frogging. And I have had this Marty Party crop on pause for a little while. I put it on pause at first because I knew I wasn't going to make it ready in time for Mardi Gras season, so I put it on hold. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that deep down I knew I wanted to approach it from a different way and have it constructed differently. And I was like basically trying to convince myself to persevere and push through and finish the construction this way, even though I knew it wasn't right. So I've come to terms with that, and I've decided to frog this and start again. And that's okay. It will get done when it gets done. And it is still a design that I am quite passionate about. So I just need to get a fresh start, and then we'll be cruising, and hopefully it will be ready in time for Mardi Gras season next year. Oh my gosh, this is taking forever. I'm almost there. Almost there. Next that I am frogging is something that does not have very much work done on it, and that is my Party Punch shawl by Tony Lipsy of TL Yarn Crafts. And this, I don't even know what colorway this is. I forget, sorry. This is from a retired dyer, so you can't get it anymore. And that was my very first ever Tunisian crochet project. And I had fun. Well, I was having fun. I obviously didn't get very far, but it was not what I wanted to make. I think I was trying to figure out what to do for Tunisian crochet because I didn't want to just make a washcloth, but I felt like jumping into a garment would be too much, and so I decided to try this shawl, and it was fun, and I learned a lot, and I learned that I enjoy doing Tunisian crochet, and I would love to do more in the future, but I was not super thrilled with how my shawl was coming out. The edges are really tight. I mean, which is fine because I was just learning what I was doing. So it's fine that it's not perfect, but I knew that when I finished it, I was never going to wear it, and I didn't want to put in all the work if I was never going to wear it. So, so we're gonna frog that. Oh my gosh. We're so close. We're so close. Almost there. Okay. Almost there, almost there. Haha, okay. This project is completely frogged. Okay, so let's frog my Party Punch shawl as I tell you about the last thing that I'm going to frog. And that is this design that I think some people might be a little bit sad about, but not me. So this is a skirt design, an unnamed skirt design. It is so wrinkled because it has been jammed in this bag for, again, about a year. And I'm so excited to get all these needles back and cables. This is using Lion Brand Kobu. And I like this design. I like this skirt. Let me put it down so that it stops banging around. So basically, here's what happened with this. I have a lot of people that are excited about this skirt because I have it graded to be incredibly, it's not necessarily made to measure, but it It can be a fitted A-line skirt. It can be not really a circle skirt, but kind of like a swooshier, what do they call them? Like a skater skirt, something like that. I don't know. I don't know fashion terms. So I have it graded where you can like really, really customize a lot of what you want in this. And the plan was, and still is, to have a tank and skirt option or a dress option. And I still love it, but a couple of things have happened. One, since I cast this on, I have changed the way that I prefer to do shaping. And so I would really like to make this design incorporate what I find is the best shaping. And also I'm kind of done with Lion Brand. Not like done with Lion Brand, like I have a problem with them. But I think I had this like this idea of like, okay, if I just try and design with yarns from brands, not just Lion Brand, but just in general, like if I tried to design with yarns from certain brands, maybe I could work with them in the future. And yeah, I could, and that would be cool, but not at the, I've tied a big knot in this, not like, I shouldn't sacrifice what I think is, you know, a good yarn for the design just because I'm trying to make a brand happy, right? So, yeah, basically I'm done with that, that way of thinking. That way of thinking that like maybe a brand will see me and like what I'm doing and want to work with me or whatever. I know that Lion Brand isn't gonna just like find me and be like, oh my god, MC, we love you so much, come work for us. I know I would have to put in the work, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying in that I just want to go a different direction with my self and my business and my designs. So basically what that means is I have plans to make this skirt, tank, dress combo still, but I'm going to use some different yarn. I'm probably going to use my own yarn. And yeah, I'm just going to do what makes me happy. And I'm going to do a slightly different shaping on it. That's all. So that is getting frogged as well. Okay, now, I feel like I've been talking forever, so let's wrap this up. What will be happening with all of this yarn that I am frogging? For those that are following along with my stashing down journey, some of this will be going back into my stash, like this skein that I am fighting with right now, will be added into my 1 week 1 skein mug so that this can become a future potential project for that. And then the other yarns, let's see, the Marty Party crop, that yarn will be going back into my stash until I am ready to cast on and get that design working again. And I am pretty sure, I think the Lion Brand yarn, both the Touch of Linen and this Kobu, I think I'm gonna pass on. I'll probably pass it on to my mom if she wants it. Mom, do you want it? Yeah, we'll see. Because I don't think I want it anymore at the moment. So that is the plan. So I will basically end up with 3 skeins from this frogging party going back into my stash. All right, that's all I got. Thank you so much for being here with me and listening to me ramble about all of the answers to your questions. Thank you to those that asked questions. And I hope you had a little bit of fun sitting here and chatting with me as I frogged. So I feel really good. I'm probably going to take these 2 projects that I still need to frog and go sit outside and do some unraveling, because I'm feeling good. I have been wanting to film this for so long. I've been planning on this Q&A with the frogging for weeks, and these projects have just been hanging over my head, and I've been wanting so badly to frog them, but I haven't been able to sit down and film this. So it feels really good. Really, really good to get them off these needles, and I can't wait to get everything put away and cleaned up, and it's gonna feel great. So thank you again so much for all of your support. I really, really appreciate it, and I love every single one of you, and I'm so glad that you are here. And if you are watching this and you are not subscribed already, please consider subscribing and joining the party, and I would love to get to know you a little bit better. So that's all I got. Thank you so much one more time, and until next time, take care of you, and I will see you later. Goodbye from me and the chainsaws.